The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning to you here at 5 a.m. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. We begin with a crash last night involving a Kern County Sheriff's deputy. This is the aftermath of the crash in East Bakersfield. Check it out. It happened just before 9 p.m. on Kentucky Street near Baker. According to KCSO, a deputy was responding to a call for a failure to yield when the patrol cruiser collided with a truck. The impact sending the deputy's cruiser into a tree, then a fire hydrant. A witness tells 17 News the cruiser did not have its lights or sirens on. However, KCSO says it's too early to determine who was at fault. No one was hurt.
The January 6th committee held their final public meeting yesterday, and in a historic move, the bipartisan panel voted unanimously to recommend to the Department of Justice criminal charges against former President Donald Trump and others. The committee's criminal referrals carry no legal weight, but they are another strain on the former president's record.
Nearly 2 years after former President Trump's supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol, the House committee investigating the attack made an historic call for accountability, referring Mr. Trump to the Department of Justice for criminal prosecution.
We've never had a president of the United States stir up a violent attempt to block the transfer of power.
This was an utter moral failure and a clear dereliction of duty.
Committee members urging DOJ to consider 4 criminal charges: obstruction of an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to make a false statement, and inciting or assisting an insurrection.
If the Justice Department concurs with that assessment and with the evidence, then he should be prosecuted like any other American.
The January 6th panel also unveiling new evidence, including a recent interview with Trump's longtime aide, Hope Hicks.
He said something along the lines of, nobody will care about my legacy if I lose. So that won't matter. The only thing that matters is winning.
Former President Trump, who already announced plans to run for president again in 2024, slamming the committee during a radio interview.
We have all Democrats and Republicans in very poor standing, 2 of them. I mean, the whole thing. It's a kangaroo court. What can I say?
And further blasting the panel's work on social media, calling it a partisan attempt to sideline him and the Republican Party. The committee released a 154-page summary of its findings and plans to release a full report on Wednesday, which will include legislative recommendations. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson for NBC News.
Meantime, the January 6th panel also referred 4 members of Congress who defied subpoenas to the House Ethics Committee, including Bakersfield Congressman Kevin McCarthy. The House Ethics Committee is tasked with investigating violations of House rules and recommending punishment for members. The January 6th panel's move could be largely symbolic, as the chair of the committee is always from the party in the majority. And that means starting in January, a Republican will head that group. You may remember back in May, McCarthy chose not to comply with the subpoena from the panel for testimony and documents surrounding January 6th. We reached out to McCarthy's office for a comment on the referral, but we have not heard back as of news time this morning.
5:06 is your time now. In your 17 Court Watch, Bakersfield Police are asking for help identifying a man who allegedly forced a woman into his car at gunpoint and sexually assaulted her. Police releasing this composite image. According to BPD, the assault happened on December 3rd on V Street, west of Union Avenue and North Brundage Lane. The suspect's described as 5'6" to 5'10", with brown hair, green eyes, and a gray and brown beard. He drove a black, newer model lifted pickup with wide wheels, according to police. If you know anything, call BPD.
Toys for Tots Drive gives tens of thousands of toys year after year to kids throughout Kern County, but now it is losing its warehouse, and it is desperately trying to find a new home. 17's Marco Torres reports.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if there will be a Toys for Tots next year. Bakersfield Toys for Tots has been led by Darlene Doty for 9 years. The warehouse is being remodeled into a children's church, so Toys for Tots has to go. It'll lose everything if someone doesn't give them some help.
These toys, we can't have them out in the weather. We need to protect them in our supplies that we have. It's just devastating, the thought of not having somewhere to go.
Doty and a few other people work 12 to 15 hours a day to prepare for the toy drives. They are all unpaid volunteers who've given their all to support thousands of children throughout the community. That number of children getting gifts is bursting past 50,000 this year.
It started off at 17,000 and now we're up to 64,000. We need to go and get a warehouse as soon as possible. If not, several storage places. I'm willing to break up my toys and put them in different locations across Kern County if I need to.
Doty has brought holiday joy to children for almost a decade. It's not just during the holiday season either. Toys for Tots operates throughout the year.
We are growing every year. The need, the impact on the community, on the kids, the families in need is just enormous, and we're hoping that the community will come back now and support Toys for Tots and give us a location to go to.
That was 17's Marco Torres reporting. Toys for Tots has until the end of January to find a new home, whether it's temporary or permanent. But if they don't, there may not be a Christmas for tens of thousands of children in Kern County next year. So hopefully we can find them a new home for next year.
5:14 now. Victory Outreach is giving away more than 1,000 toys to children in need. The church says its giveaway is a gesture of love and kindness in a time when we all need to help each other. It's happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Victory Outreach Church on New Stein Road. Registration starts at 5. Toys will be given out on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last, and children must be present in order to receive a toy.
Meantime, Blessing Corporate Ministries is handing out meals and gifts for seniors this week. It's happening Thursday from 1 to 4 p.m. at the church located on Union Avenue and 1st Street. Then on Christmas Day, the Blessing Corner is hosting its annual Christmas Day extravaganza. They're handing out hot meals, household items, and gifts from 11:30 till 2. And Blessing Corner says everyone is welcome to attend. Now to a dangerous incident caught on camera at a street takeover. There have been multiple reports of injuries stemming from these illegal demonstrations of speed and reckless driving, which continue to be a problem here in Bakersfield. 17's Marco Torres has details.
This is a street takeover. Groups meet up in isolated areas to race, burn rubber, and demonstrate the capabilities of their cars. This street takeover happened in an industrial area near Highway 58. You can see how dangerous it is. You can see we've stopped the video before the point of impact, but take it from us, the car completely runs over the fallen man, front tires and then back. It passes over him and keeps driving. We don't know what happened to the man. Highway Patrol told us that perhaps it happened on private property and it was not reported to them. We don't know what happened to the driver. What we do know is that we will get to the bottom of this.
That was 17's Marco Torres reporting. 17 Crime Watch now. 16 people freed in a human trafficking bust in East Bakersfield. The youngest victim, just 8 years old. The Kern County Sheriff's Office has arrested 9 people. The arrest happened on December 16th after a man started banging on doors in an East Bakersfield neighborhood. KCSO says that man claimed he was smuggled here from Mexico and escaped from a home where he and 15 others were being held captive, including his wife and child. Deputies visited several other homes where they found the victims, 16 in all, who ranged in age from 8 to 66. They also arrested 9 people, including 2 16-year-old boys. The suspects face several charges, including human trafficking, kidnapping, and criminal conspiracy. You can find a list of those arrested on our website, kget.com. 17 News is your local election headquarters. A recent effort in one of the closest state Senate races ever is set to begin. A recount is set to begin later this week. As we've been reporting, fewer than 24 votes separate incumbent Democrat Melissa Hurtado and Republican challenger David Shepard in the 16th Senate district race. Shepard petitioned for a recount of all the ballots in Kern County. Today, the elections office announced that recount will begin at 9 a.m. tomorrow, December 21st. Shepard, however, must pay for the recount in advance. The elections office says the public and organizations are invited to observe the process.
Now to current sober reality, and the numbers are in from this weekend's DUI checkpoint. It was put on by the California Highway Patrol late Friday night into early Saturday morning. CHP says it screened more than 300 drivers on Callaway Drive and Holland Street in northwest Bakersfield. 2 people were arrested for driving under the influence.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.